Good afternoon, everyone. Strawberries and fruit prices skyrocketing, record high. Europe, damaging May frosts. 50-year rainstorm hits Nagasaki. 100-year drought followed by 200-year floods in Romania. Locusts now sweeping through South America. Heading into Brazil, and Brazil, world's longest lightning bolt. Not only 2018, but 2019. Rail traffic still down 21% across North America compared to 2019. In the year 2020, it's so important to keep your body functioning at optimal performance. And collagen may be the closest thing we'll ever get to a real fountain of youth. After all, collagen is the most abundant protein in your body and essentially the glue that holds it all together. When you're middle-aged, you're only producing half the collagen you did in your youth. My focus is about digestive health, because the change in our diets from foods being unavailable, moving to seasonal foods, and the entire spectrum of availability of foods changing. There's so much more to talk about with the benefits of collagen. You can visit healthwithadapt2030.com to learn more. The link's in the description box below. And look for more of your fruit prices to skyrocket across Europe and the countries that buy and import from Europe. They're looking for record high prices by midsummer due to damaging frosts in May. This is what, the third year in a row we've seen this happen now? Stone fruits, apples, regular vegetables, and now we're looking at ground fruits here. It seems to be a trend. Grand Solar Minimum induced food price increase. Perfect example right there. And over in Japan and Asia, China having the massive floods that are going to cause full release down the Three Gorges Dam, flooding everything downriver. Chinese agriculture is going to have a very difficult time after the floodwaters recede. But we're seeing the same thing in Japan. Once in a 50-year rainfall event, Nagasaki, once in a 50-year event swept through Kyushu Island. Now they can deal with that. They get typhoons every year. So regular rainfall versus typhoon rainfall, a little bit different category there, but massive heavy rains, they have amazing drainage that can take off almost all water. So that kind of a flood in Japan compared to first 100-year drought in Romania, which decreased crop production last year, followed this year by a heaviest in 200-year flood. So it's interesting the flip-flop from extreme drought into extreme floods on a 300-year total difference between the two in just less than a year. So you see how quickly the climate can flip. And I'm wondering in Northern Africa if it can flip back to a 4,500-year cycle as quickly as this flipped in a 300-year between drought and 100-year and 200-year floods. I did get through some old photos while I was here in the States since February. Let's do some spelling practice with the geoengineering. Early spring, southeast U.S. You ever seen anything like this in your skies as well? And strangeness continues across the planet here. Locusts. Now on 3 continents, soon to be 4, because these are definitely going to jump from South America up into North America. Right at the height of the maturation season, we'll see how it goes, but so far we know Africa, Asia, and now South America are inundated by locust swarms in the hundreds of trillions of insects. A glimpse here, wide range, apocalyptic locust swarms. Argentina first, but now these are definitely in motion toward Brazil. A lot more media picking it up down in South America because it's become a global phenomenon, grasshoppers, South America. And I'm trying to do more research on the 1861 event to see how closely they're related, plus the solar activity in 1861 related to the solar activity now, along with the Saharan dust storm, to see if I can correlate 3 or 4 data points showing that this in turn itself is a cycle, this locust outbreak that's going to be going global here in short order. And because the locust swarms are now getting so large into the swarm and they're actually moving around parts of southern South America there, central up into Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, now it's really starting to hit the South American media. So this is a map from 3 days ago, and it's the most current that I could find. Yellow is areas where there are locusts and they're starting to multiply. Red and the red dots are the actual swarms that are in motion. And you can see where the red dots are. The orange is about to become a swarm, and you can see the trajectory. They're heading straight north, and they're starting to spread out into northern parts of South America. The trajectory they're going to go, it's going to fan out. And how long will it be before they reach up into Venezuela and cross straight up through Central America and into California and sweep over through the U.S.? right at the height of the crop maturation season. We're not even in July yet, so if these locusts do get into North America, they're going to eat everything. Because I don't care how much pesticide you put out, those things are going to eat and multiply, and it's very difficult to control such large swarms, even with remediation. But as it looks in motion currently, we're going to get some serious reductions in yield because of the locust outbreaks. And over on Rio Times, following up, locust cloud reaches the very edge of Brazil apparently over these last couple of days. Bloomberg picking it up as well, because now with the red warnings out through Brazil, they're really starting to monitor these clouds of locusts. You can definitely see that it's something unusual because of the panic through the agricultural industries across multiple nations in South America. And staying on the theme of Brazil here off the watchers, finally in the record books, the world's longest stretch of lightning in a single strike, over 435 miles, 2018. And getting into a little more detail here on the latitude and longitude of that strike and the length of it, the bolt. And then 2019, another record-setting flash. Then there's the South Atlantic magnetic anomaly, and you just have to wonder if these two are related somehow. Because staying with rail traffic here, this is an indicator of how healthy our economies are, of how much rail traffic's moving for coal, goods, metals, and whatever it might be. But totally, let's jump up to North America and Mexico, Canada, United States, down 21% compared to 2019. Now that means a lot of ships have not arrived with these containers outbound from ports in any of those countries. This is more focused on bulk cargo, but remember, a container comes in from China, it rolls across the rails as well. And this is US-based traffic, so the declines are steeper than what came out of Mexico and Canada, which gives some hope that there's some recovery happening. But coal, obviously, the power is not going to be there, the demand for industry. But I was really focused on the grains and the forest products. These are two indicators for me of how healthy an economy is. We see almost a 10% reduction in forest products such as wood to build homes, and then grain, obviously, for deliveries outbound to other countries that are buying on an export basis. And then looking at Mexican rail traffic, we start to see a 21% increase in forest products over that same time period. But the overall traffic's down, 11%? So it seems that Mexico and Canada are following first in increasing rail traffic, and then the U.S. will be last. It does show a glimmer of hope before we go into lockdown 2.0 that we can at least get more goods and services in. I would encourage you to buy anything you need right now to survive through the next 6 months, especially tools and these kind of things, because when the 2.0 lockdown comes, it's going to be much more ferocious and more enforced, shall we say, than the first one. Plus, a lot of goods and services are going to stop, and a lot more things are going to be dialed back, such as port services, trucking deliveries, rail services. You can already see that in the mix. So you have a little bit of time to prepare, probably until the end of August. I wish you the best of luck, because I'm doing the exact same thing. And how prepared are you for what we saw last time? Shortages in supermarkets and box stores, My Patriot Supply, and Adapt 2030, the 2-week grab-and-go food crate, or the 4-week food supply. Long-term food storage, good for 25 years. And you can use this as a bridge over shortages in supermarkets or going into a self-sufficient lifestyle. And it's another way to support the channel. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video, and I'll see you next time.